bioimpedance analysis. Okay, so BI basically it's a machine. This is a machine called as a in-body machine, which works on a BI, which is basically it measures impedance across multiple ranges of frequency. Okay, so it basically involves electrodes which are being applied to the body. Okay, so what is impedance? Let's understand that first. So impedance is anything which resists the current is called as an impedance. Okay, so it measures as an impedance. So it has got two components which are basically reactance and resistance. So what is a resistance? A resistance is any current which is being it measures by any substance which is stopping the current from flowing through it is called as a resistance. Okay, for example, if a current is crossing through a body, the fat, the adipose tissue will basically stop the current from flowing through it. Okay, the fat. So fat is in our body is highly resistant to the current. Okay. Now, in this case, the current will not flow and it will resist, and that will show as an impedance value. Okay. Now, the least resistance impedance will be measured in the water or any fluid. Okay. So that is the least resistance. And second is the reactance. Okay. So what is the reactance? Is reactance measured as basically a slowing of the current through any substance when a current is flowing through it. Okay. So like a cell, cell in our body. So whenever a current flows through a cell in our body, what happens is it has a capacity to store the current. That is, store the charge. Okay. So whenever a current flows through the cell, it will store some charges. Okay. So that function is called as a capacitance. Okay. So a function of a cell to capacitate the charge will tell us how much healthy the cell is. So more the charges it will store, more our cell health is better. As in the cell is better. That is called as a phase angle. Okay, so phase angle, more the phase angle, the cell is healthier. The less the phase angle, the capacity to store the charges when the current flows is that means our cell is unhealthy. Okay, so that is called as a reactance. Now what happens when a low frequency current moves through our body? What happens is the cell becomes a resistor. Okay, if it is a low frequency current. Okay, so what will happen is, since it becomes a resistor, what happens is the flow of the current will not move through the cell, but it will move around the cell. Okay, so what is around the cell? Which is a extracellular fluid or compartment, right? So this is what happens in the low frequency, and what happens in the high frequency is the current which flows through the substance through our body will penetrate into the cell and of course the extracellular compartment as well, because it's a water and it's a low resistance. So it will move through the cell also. Some current will remain, some charge will remain inside the cell, which will show us as measured as a phase angle. The flow which is going in intracellular compartment will show us the intracellular fluid compartment, and the flow, the impedance which is captured outside the cell will show us the extracellular compartment. Okay, so in this we will get, in a high frequency we will be measuring total body water, which involves our intracellular body water and extracellular fluid also. Alright, and then of course the bone which is highly resistant again. Okay, so it will show us this thing. So what is our BI going to measure? It's going to measure the whole thing, fat body, the whole fat in the body. Then it will show the lean body muscle mass, and it will show us the water content in our body. Okay, so now this is what is BIA based on. You all understood what it is, okay, and how it is going to help. So this basically involves involves electrodes which has to be applied to a patient in our ICU. It can be done in a standing position also, in a supine position also. Okay, in our patients we are doing it in the supine position. So then demonstration iska karna hai. So
let them sit and do it. Go ahead.
Sachin, just sit
Take
in
a
the chair.
Let's go ahead. Let's sit and do it.
Okay, so this is our bioelectrical analysis, bioimpedance analysis machine. Okay, this is going to we are going. These are these electrodes. Okay, these are the electrodes. Which this is for the leg. These are for the legs. Okay, and this is for the upper limbs. Okay. Now what this PI does is it basically compartmentalize the whole body. Okay, so what it does is, so basically our body is a cylinder. Okay, so it is made up of 5 cylinders. Okay, one cylinder is your 2 cylinders right upper limb and left upper limb, and 2 cylinders down the leg and mainly the trunk. Okay, so this is how it analyzes the compartments and it gives us a particular value for that particular area. Okay, so that is the reason why 4 electrodes are required, so that it calculates all the things. Okay, so let's attach first the electrodes which are for the upper limbs. So where we have to attach is already mentioned on the electrodes. Okay, very easily. You can see this is written as a middle, that means a middle finger. Okay, so this goes on the middle finger, and the other one, and the other one is, what is written is thumb. Okay, so it goes to the thumb. Okay, likewise we attach it on the right upper limb also, and these are for the legs. Okay, here they have mentioned inner side and outer side. Okay, so we have to put it accordingly. Okay, here it is written in, and on the other side it is written out. Okay, so we attach it like this. Socks पे है. नहीं socks में. Leave it. Okay, so it has to be placed just below, little below the angle. Like this. Okay. So once we have attached this, what it says is, it is asking us to press enter to put the personal information. Okay, so there is an enter button over here. So after we enter this, we have to. After we enter, it asks us to mention the name of a patient. Enter the name of a patient. Okay. So I'll just enter some. Just click ABC on this and press. I'll just write ABC. Okay. Then enter. Then kilos. So say 60 kilos. Height maybe 170. How much is it?
173 and 70 kg.
Alright, so it is asking for an age now, so we'll mention the age as 27 and enter. Male or female, we'll make it male. There is a button called as male and female over here, so male. Enter. Check electrode says, then it says check electrode connection, then press enter to begin. Okay, so now we have connected. Now we will say enter. Okay, after we say enter, we don't have to do anything. It will start analyzing the patient's this thing. Okay, relax. And there are few prerequisites when we are doing this BIA on a patient. So firstly, a patient should not be eating for 1 hour before we do this test. 1 hour fasting. Secondly, patient should not have consumed alcohol or caffeine for good 24 hours. Okay, a patient should not be exercising and coming to you for a BIA. Okay, so these are the few prerequisites which we would be. Okay, so it is analyzing now. So you can see there is 45%, so it is analyzing now. When a patient is lying down on a bed, they have to be 45 degrees, the hands and the legs have to be 45 degrees, and patient has to be not moving, should be not moving. Steady. So we have to connect the printer to this machine. Okay, there is a port for connecting the printer machine. There is a port above this. Okay, we have to connect the printer to this. Once the analysis is done, it will give us a printout of that. And ambient temperature should not be too cold and too hot. Okay. Got it. It's almost done. You can see how much time did it take to analyze. It hardly took maybe 1 minute or 1.5 minutes, right? So now we have got these results. Okay. Now what we can see over here is body composition analysis. So what we have got in body composition analysis is, like I mentioned, intracellular water, extracellular water, protein mass, mineral mass, and body fat mass. Okay. Now what it does is it actually, as I said, it is showing in compartments, right? So it will tell us in the right arm how much is the segmental lean analysis, right arm, left arm, in the trunk, right leg, and left leg. Okay, so there are normal range values also which is written over in the side, on the side, okay, for our reference, right? And what it is showing over here is your on the next page. Here you can see there is written whole body phase angle. In his case it is 7.3. Okay, for a normal a cell which is healthy has to be somewhere in between 5 to 10. Okay, a phase angle. In his case it is 7.3, which is very good. Okay, what it means is if the phase angle is below 5, that means your cell is diseased and it needs nutrition. So why is the phase angle important? Basically to understand whether our treatment to our patient is, once a patient has come critically ill and we are doing a BIA, to understand whether our treatment is, to understand the response of our patient, if we are starting on some nutrition, special nutrition on a patient, to see the effect of the nutrition on the cellular health. Okay, once we know that the phase angle is improving, we know that our treatment is, the patient is responding to our treatment. That is where the phase angle comes into role.
So there are different things about the phase angle. See, if you now what you should understand this particular machine, there are certain parameters that are off parameters, and there are certain parameters that are derived. Okay. Now just like how we have our indices in extracellular. So you have parameters that are cardiac index is derived. We do a thermodynamics, the cardiac output is measured. Okay. So there's a difference between those that are derived and those that are measured, that we know. Okay. Now here also there are certain things that are derived and there are certain things that are measured. actual measurement is the phase angle. Okay, that's why large amount of studies have been done on the phase angle. Now, your entire body is composed of water and cell mass. That is what you are. You might have a skeletal muscle mass, you might have fat mass, but cell mass. So your body cell mass is what you want to actually figure out. You know, what is your body cell mass? So if he is sitting over here, what is his body cell mass to his water is important. Cell mass. Fat is fat, cell is cell, skeletal muscle is cell. You understand? Huh? So if his body cell mass is big, means he is healthy compared to his water. Are you understanding? Huh? So in short, your phase angle will tell you your body cell mass, or it can also be called as a lean body mass. Okay. Now the issue is there anything that tells you about the phase angle? Yes, if it is more than 6, you are healthy. If it is more than 6, means you are healthy. There is no doubt that you are healthy. ICU patients will always have the lean or the phase angle to be on the lower side. They are not going to be like the healthy patient. They are not going to be. It is not possible to have phase angles of 8 and 9. How many patients you have seen till now?
74.
How many of them had phase angles more than 6?
Sir, out of 50 patients, actually 22 patients at the lower side of the phase.
How much lower? Was it more than 6?
No, sir.
So,
Below 4.
It's always C. So the point is that above 6 level, this guy is how much is this?
7.5.
Huh?
7.5.
Exactly. So he's healthy. You understand? So if you test among all of us, we would be at 7. Okay, whereas all these ICU patients would be somewhere below 5. 5.5, 4, indicating they are sick to begin with. You understand? They are sick to begin with. So when you actually correlate that to malnutrition, there are certain cutoffs. The cutoffs are not very clear. So for patients who are not on dialysis, the cutoff may be 5. For patients who are on dialysis, the cutoff may be 4.3. So there are cutoffs. But what we know is if it's very low, it is very bad. If it is 3, 3.5, it correlates to mortality. It correlates to mortality. So if it's 3, 3.5, 3, 2.52, 1.6, it correlates to mortality. More importantly, those patients who've got high phase angles more than 5 will survive. More importantly, okay. That means if you are today at a phase angle of 4 and 5 days later you repeat a BI, it goes to 5.5 or 6. It has gone up. If it has gone up, they will correlate to ICU survival. Now this patient's phase angle is 3. After some time you see it's 3.1. It has not gone up. After 5 days, that is. It has not gone up. Means this person is not working to improve his body cell mass. This person has a lesser chance of survival. Are you understanding? So that is how you interpret the phase angle. So phase angle becomes very, very important because it is a raw parameter. It is not derived. So phase angle becomes very important. The other parameter that becomes very important for you is the lean body mass. Okay. Now, so there is something called as skeletal mass index that we are seeing here, and there is also something called as appendicular lean body mass, appendicular skeletal muscle mass. What is appendicular skeletal muscle mass? It is a derived parameter. Either कौन सा appendicular skeletal mass? So it's simple. Appendicular nothing much. You take the lean body mass of all these, add them, and divide it by body mass, body BMI. That is appendicular skeletal. So when you look at the GLIM criteria, which actually now the question is, okay, I'll take that lecture only. I'll take lecture. But you understand this? There's something called appendicular skeletal muscle mass that is there. Okay, if the appendicular skeletal muscle mass is low, if it's low, the number is 80 for males and 50 for females. Okay, around 50 for females. It corresponds very closely to the hand grip dynamometry, which is one of the basic things that will tell you the strength of the person, which will tell you that he is stable. You know, so it's very obviously whenever you are sick, you get sick, no? You get tired, you can also the hand grip dynamometry, which is what in the gyms you have gone, you have done the so there is actually a meter called as hand grip dynamometer. Okay, so that will give you an estimate as to what is healthy and what is unhealthy. Functional body mass kitna hai. You understand? So the hand grip dynamometry actually corresponds very beautifully to the appendicular lean body mass. You understand? What does this mean? That if I know either hand grip dynamometry or if I know this, I can actually say whether this patient is at risk for malnutrition or not doing well. Similarly, you can also trend it. So once in 5 days, if I do my hand grip, once in 5 days, so there are numbers on that also. Like for example, 27.5 is for females, and I think 30 is for males. On that, 30 something is for the males, I think so. Something like that is there on that also. So there also there are cut-offs that say this is how it is, and then you can trend it. So morning you do it once, 5 days later you repeat it. Do it, that's once you repeat it, you know exactly this patient is doing well or not. You have a reasonable estimate apart from your clinical status what is happening. So you can trend what is happening. You understand? So in this, so when you say segmental lean analysis, it is giving you all those things. So you multiply them, add them divided by 4, and you get appendicular skeletal muscle mass index. Okay. So here you have the body cell mass. If you see BCM, see this? It has a body cell mass, which in this case is completely normal, 38.2. Okay, this is what you want to estimate, and that is what your face angle says. So most often you see a body cell mass and a face angle actually moving together in this particular thing. You understand? That's how it's going to be. Another thing that you can probably see here is what is the extracellular water versus your fat-free mass. That's the skeletal muscle body mass. That also will give you an idea, because what you should, as time goes, what should happen to you? Your extracellular water should go down and your fat-free mass should go up. Over a period of time, what can happen? Extracellular fluid can go up because he's leaking, not retaining fluid and not looking good. Muscle mass going down, so that ratio will change. So that is another thing that can be seen on this. It's called total body water fat-free mass estimation. That's over there. That's over here. That will also give you an idea as to how you're progressing. Okay, so this, of course, it's a simple tool. You see how fast you could improve.
Should I explain the importance of everything, sir?
And you want to figure out how much you want to remove, you can do that.
Yes.
But you can't do for an active patient who's in an ICU. So that is how it works.
Yes.
Okay? So I'll just take that only.